Laura Wilding, she may be glowing when she comes up on stage because she's only been married for 2 weeks, and it is a bit, I wish they'd just, Laura and Cyril, just stop holding hands and stop looking at each other like that. Come on, get over it. No, it's beautiful. Would you please welcome Laura Wilding, everybody? When we set up the Message Enterprise Centre, it was pragmatic. We were seeing so many young men and women coming to Christ in prison, but they struggle so much when they come out, mainly because they can't get a job, and a lot of them can't get a decent home, or they're homeless, and they need a lot of support from the church. And Laura's very involved, intimately involved. She's a senior stylist at the Message Enterprise Centre in Manchester. But I'm not going to steal any of her thunder. And we brought her particularly for this weekend of launch events for Message Scotland because of her accent. I'm not sure anybody can understand me, but you'll probably be able to understand Laura. So go for it, girl. Tell your story.
Amen. Oh, it's such a privilege coming here tonight to speak to you all. It's just such, woo! A Scottish accent, eh? You know, first of all, I just want to thank God for my salvation. I just thank God for where He's took me from. You know, to give you a wee taster, just over 3 years ago, I was eating out of bins just to stay alive. At that point in my life, I came to a point where I had 3 options. I felt I had 3 options, and that was kill myself, kill somebody else, or be killed. You know, I owed money for drugs. I was in a violent relationship. I had thoughts about killing him. It was such a low point in my life. I'd been a heroin addict at that point for 17 years. I'd been on methadone for 13 years, antidepressants for about 10 years, all sorts of antipsychotics, drugs to go to sleep, drugs to wake up at night, drugs to, you know, any time of the day. And my life was just a train wreck. I came from a broken home, and the rejection that I felt was immense. So I started looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, I'd seek out the older boys, the rebels, and yeah, I started taking heroin at 16 years old. I didn't know any better, didn't know what I was getting myself into. And my life just continued on like that. By the time I was 24, I gave birth to my son, who was born an addict. And I took him straight back into my drug addiction. I only had him for 16 months, and I had to give him to my mum because I couldn't look after him. My drug addiction was getting worse. It got so bad at one point that I got drug-induced psychosis. And I was always trying to kill myself anyway, but at this point I was in the mental health hospital, locked up, 24 hours guard on my door, and my parents were told she could spend the rest of her life in here. You know, this could be it for her. Round about that time, I'd heard about Jesus. I'd heard about God. I'd heard He could set me free. But I lacked discipleship. And I really didn't want to submit everything. I didn't want to give up what I was doing, you know. And I was clean anyway. I was on methadone, right? Nah, believed that lie for ages. They told me that I had a personality disorder. And that just put a big label over my head. Weirdo, you know. Something's wrong with her personality. But that's a lie for the pit of hell, you know. There's nothing wrong with my personality. Nothing. I was just a lost, hurting girl that was taking drugs. So, as I said, 3 years ago, I came to the point that I just did nothing, you know. I just thought, what else can I do? And I remembered back about this man, Jesus, that could set me free. And I went to an outreach that came to Scotland, Victory Outreach, and they all stood at the front of this arena and said, you know, Jesus set me free. I used to be a junkie. I used to be a crackhead. I was an alcoholic. Jesus set me free. And they went right down the line of these people. And I just thought, I want what they've got. Whatever they've got, I want it for myself. And I went down the front that night, and I says, God, Please help me. I want what they've got. Please give me it. I submit everything before you. Now that was the easy part, getting the drugs out of the way. I spent 18 months in rehab. The drugs were the easy part, but then I had to meet myself. After about 2 weeks, when I started cleaning myself up, started brushing my teeth, doing my hair, and starting feeling all right, it was like, hello, 16-year-old. There you are, child, immature, hadn't grown up, hadn't experienced anything really in life. And I had to deal with that guilt, that shame, that pain, that hurt. Oh, and it was sore. It was sore. But then God showed me that that stuff didn't belong to me anymore. That 2,000 years ago, He took it on the cross for me. You know, all that stuff wasn't mine. It wasn't mine. That was the reason why He took the holes in His hands. That was the reason why He took the spear in His side. It was for my stuff, not yours, mine, my own individual stuff. And the revelation of the cross set me free, took away all that stuff. You know, I'm not ashamed of my past anymore. I'm not ashamed because it says in the Bible that God uses the foolish things of the world, the things that the world despises, to bring to nothing what the world thinks is important. All the things that I used to think that was important, it's not important anymore. It's not important anymore. It's knowing Jesus is the most important thing in my life. Having that deep, intimate relationship with Him, the thing that I desired, the thing that I ran after and wanted with all my heart. So I came to the end of my time in rehab, and I trained years ago with big hairdressers and never felt good enough, you know. And my pastor said to me, he says, I've got a job for you at the Message Trust. And I went, oh no, I don't want to go and work with people. My confidence was still really, really low. I felt as if I couldn't have a one-to-one with people. I couldn't look them in the eye. When I went to Manchester, I could hardly string a sentence together. I couldn't communicate. I wasn't articulate. I couldn't speak to people. And he was telling me that I had to go and speak to people while doing their hair. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do it. That first day when I went and I met Andy, and he came up to me and he prayed. And he says, I believe God's brought you here. And I was like, oh, right, okay, God, I'm believing in you that you'll help me here. It's amazing. I've been there for about 18 months now. I started as an apprentice, and now I'm the senior stylist. You know, I've got girls that I help train that have came from prison. I've been challenged in so many ways. Like, I know why God's took me there. It was to build my confidence with people. Because, I thought I was a weirdo with a personality disorder that people wouldn't like. I've built relationships with people. At first, it was mostly Christians that were coming in, but now I'm even getting Muslim clients that I'm able to witness to and speak to and, you know, just love and encourage. And God has really set me free, built my confidence. And I've also had chances to go into prison, in Style Prison in Manchester. There was 40 women in the room that day, and every single one of them stood up and received Christ that day. I've been into high school speaking to the kids. You know, I've had so many opportunities, and this was all from somebody that was eating out of bins 3 years ago. It's only Jesus. It's only Jesus that can do that, you know. But I just want to thank everybody that invests in this movement, because I love Jesus. I love the vision of the Message Trust, but I love Scotland, and I want to see this vision come to pass in Glasgow, you know. Again, just thank you for investing. You're not just investing in my future, you're investing in the kids out there, the wee girl sitting in the council estate that daddy's left her, the wee boy that's sitting there getting abused. You know, I couldn't have got a job anywhere else. And that's what the Message Trust has done for me, is gave me a job, gave me a purpose, something to wake up to every single morning, and responsibility. And I just want to give God the glory tonight. Amen.